I have some choice words for Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s so-called autism registry.
These are kids who, many of them were fully functional and regressed. These are kids who will never pay taxes.
First of all, it's wild that I even need to say this, but get out of here with this eugenics bullshit. As a person who loves autistic people and a student of history, the repugnance of this kind of thing should be very clear. Autism is not a disease, it is not something to be cured, and I don't think a person's worth is based on whether or not they pay taxes or are productive under capitalism. These are not the things that make any of us worthy of self-determination, dignity, community, or joy. Please also don't say,
RFK Jr. gets it wrong because plenty of autistic people do have jobs and pay taxes.
While this is true, it's not doing what you think it's doing. It creates cover for the separation of so-called high support needs individuals from those who are able to do productive labor. It reinforces the divide between people who are useful to capital and the people who aren't. And it is the people who aren't who are at most risk right now. Our rotting system of support and care for disabled people is part of what makes this all politically palatable. Let's break this down a little bit. Our overarching attitude towards disabled people in this country has often been about figuring out ways to make them, frankly, disappear. From forced institutionalization and incarceration to involuntary sterilization, we don't exactly have a great track record of working with actual disabled people to meet their needs and help them pursue the things that make their lives meaningful according to their own priorities. We've instead built these systems that have made it difficult for them and their families to find the ongoing care that they need and access community and the means to self-determination. The anti-psychiatry movement of the 1970s did succeed in deinstitutionalizing a lot of people, but those wins also coincided with the dawn of Reagan-era austerity, meaning that the social safety nets that ever existed in this country were then systematically undermined to the brink of collapse, or saddled with ever more challenging hoops to jump through in order to prove how disabled you are. And that also makes it very easy to claim that people are a burden. It's costly for caregivers, financially, but not just financially, as they take on more and more of the work and cost associated with providing what we could be providing people as a society. My point here is this: there are both cultural and material reasons we're primed to think of disabled people as burdens rather than as people who are members of our communities. Do not give in to this thinking. Disabled people, regardless of their disability, are our neighbors and our loved ones. And even if you're able-bodied now, you will become disabled eventually too. That's actually just how human bodies work over time. The eugenicist impulse is one which rejects grief and vulnerability as part of the human condition, and that is why the authoritarians are so invested in it.